Everybody, it's Father's Day. This is a message that goes out to two groups. We'll start off with the first group, to the dads. To all dads out there, happy Father's Day. And if you're one of those dads who, your kids haven't called you, and you're like, did they forget about me? Did they not care? I got some news for you. Your kids do love you. So if you did your job right, like most men did, most dads did growing up, your kids grew up with you knowing, don't worry about me on Father's Day. Mother's Day is more important. So you always raised your kids to make sure that Mother's Day was never forgotten. But for the most part on Father's Day, all you ever really wanted was a hug from your kids growing up. Because God forbid you get more ties. Unless you're a tie collector, that is. So if you're one of those dads and your kids are adults now and they're not messaging you saying Happy Father's Day or anything like that, don't feel so bad. You did your job. You raised them not to make a big deal out of Father's Day. That's what you wanted. And be proud of your kids, because if they at that point where they don't have to go, I need to get confirm with dad that I love them, it's because they love you all the time. Now, if you're an adult and you have a father, what's your excuse? Your dad's not going to be around forever. And even though he doesn't want a tie or anything like that, and you were raised, I'm not going to, I don't have to worry about Father's Day as much. Would it kill you to call him? Would it kill you to say hi to him? Because I got some news for you. Okay? Your dad's not always going to be there. All right? Odds are your dad's probably going to, if you're an adult now, your dad, who knows how long he's got left. And the fact of the matter is, the one thing your dad always really wanted when you were a kid growing up on Father's Day was just to see you smile. To know that he was doing a good enough job, that you didn't hate him, that you loved him. And now, as you're an adult now, if your dad's still alive, all he really wants is, honestly, spend some time with him. Give him a phone call. If you live near your dad, go visit. Take half an hour. Go have a drink with your dad. Because that's the most important thing to a dad, is that time you spend with your kids. So if your dad's still alive, what are you waiting for? Spend some time with your dad. Because you know what? He's not always going to be there. And you might eventually get too busy and you might become a dad yourself. Or you might become a mother yourself down the road. So spending that time with your dad once in a blue moon, it's super special. Don't have to worry about getting him gifts or anything. Just honestly, just spend some time. Make sure you haven't forgot about him. And not to don't just wait for a special day like Father's Day to do that. You should do that on a regular basis. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because if your dad is no longer with you, and if your dad out there and your father's been gone for a long time and you miss your dad, you know what I'm talking about. You miss that time. You miss that time that you could have spent with your dad. I was lucky. I grew up, I spent every Saturday with my dad, except one Saturday. That was the Saturday he passed away. So I know what it's like to want my dad to be around. My dad never got to see my kids. So if you're one of those fathers out there, or if you're just an adult whose dad's not around anymore, what you could do today in honor of your dad is just take a minute to think about him. It doesn't hurt. It's not going to cost you anything to think about, hey, my dad's gone, I miss my dad, and reminisce on all those good times you had. If you're an adult and your dad's alive, let them know. Let them know, not just today, but on a regular basis. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. I want to see you soon. If you live near him, go visit him. Even if it's just like hey, Dad, you want to get a coffee? Let's go get a coffee. Something simple like that. You don't have to go crazy on Father's Day. And if you're a dad and your kids don't call you, like I said before, you probably did your job right, because you probably raised them to not make a big deal of Father's Day. So to all the dads out there, present and gone, and the future dads, happy Father's Day. And you know what? It's the way it is. We sort of have a thing where we don't need much, but that little bit of confirmation that you did a good job is good. So, wish your dad a happy Father's Day. If your kids don't feel so bad. It's because they probably are too busy, or like I said earlier, you raised them not to make a big deal of Father's Day. But would it really hurt for them to give you a call? So once more, happy Father's Day out there, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of the day.